Young and the Restless next week. Sharon tempts Nick and Summer scared. Young and the Restless spoilers for March 17th through the 21st are smoking hot. We are going to talk about Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, being tempted by Sharon Newman, Sharon Case, and Summer Newman, Allison Lanier, being very afraid that Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford, is still in danger. As we end this week, the week we're in now that ends on March 14th, we have the fantastic news that Sharon and Phyllis are finally free. Nick, Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson, and Chancellor, Connor Floyd, rode to their rescue. And the dynamic also between Phyllis and Sharon has dramatically shifted. The two ladies worked together to find a camera so they could dismantle it, and the kidnapper couldn't see them. Then Sharon and Phyllis had a great time trashing the room and taunting their captor. But it's too bad because it set off some alarms, some auto reactions that psycho fake Alan Lauren, Christopher Cousins, had set up. And he, of course, is now confirmed as their kidnapper. Young and the Restless spoilers. Nick's temptation and Sharon's plea for reunion. Fake Alan had things set up to punish Sharon and Phyllis, and he had one last trick, filling the room with toxic gas that was waiting for them. As they started choking and Phyllis collapsed, just in time, Billy, Nick, and the cops rushed in and saved them. Next week, we are going to see how Sharon and Phyllis are doing now that they are both home safely. Spoilers for next week for Nick and Sharon on Young and the Restless are about Nick being tempted to consider a possible reunion with Sharon. We're going to see Nick in deep conversation with Sharon at Crimson Lights. She's looking pretty good, none the worse for wear after her ordeal at the hands of that psycho. And Sharon tells Nick she wants him to be honest with her about his feelings. Then Sharon asks Nick if he ever thinks about them getting back together. And we know from Sharon's Valentine's Day daydream that she is definitely hoping to be reunited with Nick. This horrible thing that Sharon has gone through might have Nick ready to just go ahead and take that leap. They may finally reunite, seeing as Young and the Restless finally reunited Chelsea Lawson Newman, Melissa Claire Egan, and Adam Newman, Mark Grossman, who were also on a painfully slow path to reconciliation. Hopefully, Sharon and Nick will both admit they have feelings for each other and begin a new romantic chapter, and if they don't, it's going to be a huge letdown for Chic fans. Because of the slow buildup between Nick and Sharon that's been going on literally for more than a year. Young and the Restless, Nate's family drama, Amy's leukemia battle, and Damien's concern. Also next week on Young and the Restless, Damien Kane, Jermaine Rivers, shows up at his brother Nate Hastings. Seen Dominic, apartment asking about his mom, Amy Lewis, Valerie Pettiford. If you remember, recently Nate set up an appointment for Amy with a friend of his who's an oncologist in Chicago. And they came down to see her and then took her away to Chicago to get tests done. So Nate's hoping to find a way to treat Amy's leukemia. You know, he's hoping for a cure or at least a way to prolong her life and give her a better quality of life. Next week, Damien asks Nate if it's true that Amy has been admitted to a hospital in Chicago. And I'm sure it is. Otherwise, Damien wouldn't have heard that news. This might actually be a good thing and not bad news. It could mean that Amy got into a clinical trial or is getting some sort of experimental treatment from Nate's doctor friend. On the other hand, it could be terrible news because Amy's leukemia might have taken a turn for the worse, and she's in the hospital getting end-of-life treatment. Hopefully it's not that though. But either way, good or bad, Damien will likely end up going to Lily Winters, Crystal Khalil, to talk it through. They're getting a lot closer, which makes sense because Damien is set to be Lily's next love interest, and heaven knows she needs one. Whether Amy's getting a miracle cure or has run out of time, it should see Damien and Nate bonding as brothers at last. Summer's fears, Phyllis's bravery, and rekindled flames on Young and the Restless. Also, Summer and Phyllis sit down to discuss the aftermath of her kidnapping, and a shocked Summer is horrified when they talk. And Phyllis says the kidnapper wanted her and Sharon to be found, not so much horrified about that part, but because there's still an element of risk. Phyllis tells Summer whoever did this is a total whack job. And what's really got her daughter upset and worried about Phyllis is because the kidnapper has not been caught.